Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a while since I made my last video for sure. It's been 2 years, um, and so much has happened since then that I figured, let me make a video, talk about things that how are happening, lessons I've learned, things I've been through, and where I am right now. Um, it's been such a wild ride so far. Um, right off the bat, though, I'm not where I want to be just yet. Expected to be at a much better place than I am, but I think the opportunity is there. So I'm not upset, and I'm not disappointed. Um, I am rather interested. If that makes sense, and I'll explain. So originally, I made this channel back 3 years ago when I was going through a breakup with my girlfriend, and I was going through such a rough time because it was my first breakup. It was like my first real love, and it sucked. So I figured I'd make videos to kind of talk about it, get it off my chest, help other people, and then also in the future when I look back on it, I can kind of see exactly what I was going through and what I did to get better. Because if I was able to overcome something like that before, I can do it again. So that's why I made that channel, or this channel, and why I made those sorts of videos talking about these things, because I felt like a lot of the times it was more just for me to talk myself through it than to offer some kind of guru wisdom. So since then, hold on, I have something. There you go. So since then, I started a detailing company. When I first started the videos, I started a detailing company that summer. So it was me and my friend. We used to detail cars, and I learned a lot. Firstly, about the type of people that I surround myself with. How friends might not always translate to partners, and why to not go into business with a friend. And these are all things that I had to learn the hard way. And I'm not saying it applies all the time, because it doesn't. But it's definitely something worth considering before doing. So, firstly was and to not expect the same amount of input from other people. Yeah. So that summer we had 33 clients. 30 of them were mine that I got, and a large portion, so we were 50-50 partners, so 30 of the clients were mine, 50% of the revenue and profits were mine, and 50% were his. And he was just not so into it. Like, he wanted to do it, he liked the idea of having his own business, but there was no effort, at least not until the very, very end. But like, he was late, for example, to his next door neighbor's house, which we were detailing, because he slept in. And like, it was just things like that. And I really liked this guy. We got along very well, but unfortunately just his work ethic was not there. And so eventually at the end of the summer, I said, you know what, this isn't for me. Like, us being partners, not for me. And I moved on. And then I started getting into cryptocurrencies, and I was working. Did I start working? No, I didn't start working after. But I got into cryptocurrencies and trading, and I ended okay at it. It wasn't great, but I didn't necessarily lose money in the long run. And I got the opportunity to franchise a painting company. It was one of those student-based companies. And within 6 or 7 months, I grew it to $87,000 in revenue. It was one of the smaller ones from the franchise, to be completely transparent. I was actually probably in the 70th percentile. So that means 70% of people had a bigger company than mine. Actually, it's probably not true. It's probably like 50. The average was pretty high. But I mean, I was so proud of myself. I mean, I revenued in the summer prior $3,000 in the 30 clients. So it was about $3,000. And now I'm at $87,000. So I was definitely proud of myself. That's a huge, massive improvement. And I didn't stay with that company. So they taught me everything. They taught me from client acquisition, just door-to-door marketing, to selling the project, to like setting up quotations and estimates, to going there, closing the projects, and actually rolling out the production of them. And it was a lot of good knowledge and good experience for the future. However, the pay cut was massive. So I paid them, I think, a combination, well, from just royalties was 24,000 off revenue. So 87,000 minus 24,000 minus other overhead expenses. So all the flyers they eventually charged me, the website that they used was charged to me, and like everybody else in the company. So whenever we would get like someone would call in, so when someone would call in from the flyers that I went out in fucking winter snowing, that I paid for their revenue, they would charge me because it went through their website. So I didn't like that, but whatever. They would charge me for that lead, for uniforms, hats, for administration, for their accounting fees. They would charge me because I guess they did my accounting too, which is whatever, it's fine. So all in all, I think just off of overhead and royalties, I paid over $30,000. And then I paid $24,000 in labor, and I believe $12,000 in what's it called? $12,000 in paint and materials, and all like any like company excursions were charged to me if I wanted to attend. So at the end of the year, I made 14,000. From 87,000, I made $14,000, and it was a hard lesson. It was a good lesson, and that's not including my credit card fees, so or labor for starting up when I would pay people to go door to door with me, not included there. So, all in all, I probably made actually $10,000 that year, but it was better than 3,000, and I got a lot more skills. Now the year after, I signed a non-compete with this company, so I couldn't legally open up or run a painting company after. And I was thinking about opening up a corporation or holding company that owned the painting company, and so I didn't directly own it. But I got the opportunity to work with one of my friends' parents. They have a family business, and it's general contracting. And we did it, and he actually told me, he's like, you know what, Lewis, like, come work for us, come work for me. My son's working here too. You guys are the same age. In about 5 years, I'm going to retire. But I see the skills and the fire that you have inside of you, and I really believe that you're here for a reason. So and you get along with my son very well. So let's see how you guys work, but I want you to stay for at least 5 years. One year was what he got me in, and then 5 years. He said I want for at least 5 years. And in the time you're here, like by the time I retire, like I want you to run the show together, so as partners, not as like 50-50 partners, but as partners. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's a great opportunity. Let's see how it goes. And I realized that at the beginning, like I was so bought into it. Like I came in early, I left late, I worked my ass off, and I'll let you know, like over the last 3 or 4 years, I was their best employee. I made more revenue directly for them than any of their employees did in the last 3 years combined. Within 6 months, 6 or 7 months. And it was just from like cold calling, cold emailing, bidding on commercial projects. And eventually as time went on, like I was told, like, okay, you know what, this is going well. If you get more like private clients, like corporations instead of like city, we'll pay you like a commission. You'll get a cut. It never happened. It never happened. And then slowly I started being treated differently. So all the employees were treated with respect. Absolute respect. Doesn't matter what it was. No swearing, nothing. But with me, it was different. It was much different with me. And maybe it was, I don't know why, maybe it's because I was younger, maybe it's because they saw me as a friend more than an employee, or the possibility of us working together. They saw me more as less of an employee. Although they didn't treat me like that all the time, but with time, like, his son would start disrespecting me, and he was my boss technically. And I brought it to their attention, to the boss, his dad. I'm like, hey, this is not the first time he has spoken to me like this, and I don't appreciate it. Like, I've never spoken to you like this. I've never spoken to him like this. I've never spoken to any of the employees here like this. Why am I getting treated like this? And that's just like when the bullshit started. Excuse my language, but that's what it was. Like, oh, things get tough around here. I don't care. I don't care. I'm working my ass off, trying to fucking, like, be the best employee again, get you the best return. I stress myself out a lot about this. Does that mean I'm gonna go run around and tell you guys to fuck off? No. Like, I give the same respect, and I expect that respect back. I always give respect first, and I expect it back. And then I guess I started getting, like I mentioned, the red flags. I was starting to being treated differently. The respect just wasn't there. I was expected to do a lot of work for, like, frankly, shit pay. I was making $17 an hour. Junior estimators make like 24. So I was getting $17 an hour, about like what, 15% cut, less than average. And I was doing the best work in that fucking entire company. And I was putting in more effort. I was coming in at 4 in the morning sometimes, leaving at 6 p.m. sometimes, 7 p.m. And that bar that I raised from, that standard that I raised for myself, and coming in on weekends too, no pay, eh? No pay on weekends, but I still came in because I saw the vision. And I just realized, like, I was getting used. And the problems eventually started coming where I didn't want to be used anymore. And there was a point where I went on vacation, and this is kind of where the problems actually started. So I went on vacation for 2.5 weeks, and I scheduled that like 7 months in advance. And when the time came around and when I was on vacation, I got scammed at the airport, so I had no data. So I bought $50 worth of gigabytes, which was like 20 gigabytes or something, but I only got 5, and I was charged the $50. But I had unlimited WhatsApp. So I got a message from my boss saying, like, hey, we have this problem, can you fix it? And I was like, I can't. I really can't. I don't have any data. I got scammed. And then he's like, no, I'll buy the data for you. And I'm like, you can't. Like, I tried doing that myself, buying more data just because through the company, but it's not letting me put in my credit card information. It's not letting me pay. And he kept persisting and persisting. Like, you have to fix it. You have to fix it now. You have to fix it now. You have to fix it now. And I told him, like, I can't. I really can't. And eventually he said, like, okay, we'll figure it out. But I was like, if I say no twice because I can't, why are you going to keep bothering me for an extra 15, 20 minutes? I'm on vacation right now. Okay, and it's supposed to be paid vacation. I came back from vacation, no pay. And so I asked him, like, hey, like, where's my paid vacation? Like, I'm supposed to be getting paid for the vacation, and I was really hoping that, it'd be something. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not too sure. And ask the accountant. And we'll see. I'm not really sure what they did. So I was like, okay. So I asked the accountant, and they're like, I'm not too sure. I was like, all right, okay. So I asked him again. I'm like, where, like, how, like, what happened? And he's like, oh, well, I think it's because when you were going to school and university, since you left work early, they probably took some of that money out. And paid you that way for the time that you weren't at work. But I was thinking, like, we talked about that though before I started working here, that I was going to stay in school, and in the future I was going to get my CPA, and then eventually we could, with that degree we could possibly actually open up a CPA firm too, like all of us together, like him, his son, and I. But I felt like people were just going back on their words and not really respecting and saying one thing and then doing another thing, which is very like present within that company with some of the work that we did. And as time continued going, like, and during that argument it escalated. It really escalated. And I asked him for like my contract. I wanted to see what was due for me and what was due for him, and he took that as me trying to not insult him, but threaten him. And he's like, talk to my lawyer. I was like, what? Never spoken to me like that. Like, what do you mean? He's like, why do you want that? I'm like, I just want to know, like, what's due for me, what's due for you. Like, I want to make sure that, like, how I stand under you guys as an employee. Which is fine. I was never going to take him to court for what? A few $100s? Fuck no. But I wanted to know. And he started, like, getting really agitated. And then he accused me of doing underhanded deals. So he's like, I don't appreciate what you did with X company and the deal you guys made. I was like, what deal? He's like, I know the deal you guys made. I'm like, no, you don't. I didn't make any deals. What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, no, I don't. I didn't make any deals. And it was for like, he was talking about a contract for like $2,000. So let me get this straight. I'm going to sacrifice the next 5 years of potentially working with you and your son in this company, and we're going to grow it together over what, a percentage of $2,000? That's fucking stupid, bro. That's fucking stupid. But I was so insulted. I was like, there's no way. I put in so much effort for you. And you just said that? So I said, you know what, here's your keys. I'm not coming back tomorrow. Straight up. He's like, I accept your resignation. He kind of went back on it. He's like, think about it. I'm like, no, here's your keys. I'm not coming back tomorrow. Like, I'm not. So I resigned on the fucking spot in the morning. I was like, there's no way this guy fucking said that. And I left the company. And at that time, I started to think, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to start working again? Am I going to go back to or continue university? Or am I going to start my business again, my painting business? And so I started my painting business and school, one course, but, whatever. And my non-compete was over already, so I wasn't really scared, like, for legal reasons. And, like, it started off very well, so I'm still doing the painting business. I did start it, I'm still sticking with it. And the first few weeks was amazing. First few months, actually, was amazing. But then it really started to slow down. So I had $10,000 in my bank account, which is not a lot of money, but it's more than most people, at least starting off. And I invested, buying flyers, buying business cards, registering my company, corporation, setting up everything. I ran Google Ads for a little bit. And then I also bought, what's it called? I got recommended this marketing agency on Facebook, like Meta, by a few people, and they're a little bit expensive. They're $5,000 a month with marketing fees and ad spend, which is what I'm spending right now. But the results were so promising from so many different people that use the same company. And I was like, okay, like, that's a lot of money. That's 50% of what I have right now. But what if it works? And so we went for it. The first 2 weeks was amazing. I was getting leads every single day. I was closing projects. Well, I closed 2 projects, but I was getting leads. And I was I stopped going door to door for a little bit because I guess I just got confident. But then the leads stopped. and the leads stopped when they were supposed to pick up. So I was told 2 weeks to warm up the account, and then the leads just start actually picking up. But they stopped completely. And in the last, so that was really recent. So that was a month ago, 3 weeks ago when I started. So the first week and a half was great. The last week and a half, I got a combined 3 leads, and none of them converted. And I'm thinking to myself, like, whoa, what am I gonna do? So I was faced with 2 decisions, or 1 decision, 2 choices. One is I just cut it. I'm like, you know what, we can't. Like, I can't continue. I'm hiring 2 door-to-door people, like. And then the second option was, let's make a ton more videos. Let's send them out all at once. We'll see which one performs well, and let's see where it goes. And I figured that's what I'm gonna do. And so that's what I did. I sent all the videos yesterday. Hopefully they're gonna get edited by tomorrow or the day after, and we're gonna send them all out at once. We have 2 more weeks before I'm broke. Just because it's fucking expensive. 2 more weeks before I'm broke. But in those 2 weeks, it's like make or break, It's like make or break. And I'll be honest, like, I'm scared. I'm really scared. I don't know if it's the right decision. Thankfully, I have a partner. This gives me a little bit, like, calms my nerves down. I have a partner. A really successful painting company based a few cities west of me. And he was saying, and he actually recommended me this company. He's like, you know what? Because it works wonders for him. He's like, if I need to, I'll float you. I'll pay for it for a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to have to pay him back. But he's like, I'll float you for a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Like, if it starts picking up in these next 2 weeks, and then it dies, or it starts picking up, but I'm running out of money, he'll float it. Continue to float it so that at least the new leads are coming in, and we close more projects, and then at the end of the year, we'll do the accounting, how much I owe him, etc. But, I'll be honest, guys, I'm scared. I'm terrified. Because I don't know. Now I'm young, I'm 20. Every year I'm in a better spot. Every year I'm in a better spot than the year prior. But it also feels like every year I have to start from zero again. And that's what I'm facing right now. Year 1, I made $3,000 on my own. Year 2, I made $14,000. Year 3, I made $24,000 working for that company. I mean, I guess we're technically doubling every year, practically. So this year, keeping that trend, I should end up with $40,000. But I don't know. I'm faced with this dilemma and this worry and this stress. Like, to put into perspective, like, my credit card bills for January is $4,300 just from Facebook. My credit card personal is like $200. No, it's less, actually, $151. I owe Google $500 from this stupid shit that they did. And I have $8,000. And $8,000 is a combination of my personal savings, deposits I have for projects, HST I charge where I'm going to have to pay the government, and, the cut that I owe my business partner, which he doesn't want me to pay him now. He wants the business to work. But technically I'm in debt already, actually. And I'm scared. One thing that gets me going a lot through this time is God. I have my Bible right here, and I'm not perfect. I sin like a motherfucker. And I probably do lots of bad sins, worse sins than a lot of people. And I'm just like, Like, I don't know. I'm very fearful right now. Now, worst comes to worst. Like, my parents said that they'll invest into me if I need it. So I'm sure they could also float me, like, let's say I run out of money for marketing spend, but I'm still have to pay my guys. I'll ask my mom or my dad, like, for $5,000. $5,000 will float me for a little bit. Will let me pay my guys to go door to door with me. Will let me pay monthly for my CRMs, and then $5,000 in the grand scheme of things is really not that much money. But I don't want to ask. I don't want to get there. Now I do have a big project. It's $10,000. Who I want to subcontract out, take a profit, use that to reinvest and float the business too. But like, another thing that I face, and I feel like it happens just to me, is that everything seems to work for everyone except me. Like, when I started my franchise 2 years ago, people were doing Facebook ads on their own account, on their own accord. And they were fucking, putting in $500, getting a $20,000 return on it. I tried. Got fucking nothing. Nothing. The first time on my own. Now, it seems with this Facebook company, everyone's putting in tons and tons of money into it. More than me. $16,000 a month. I'm not doing that. Less than me, and getting a massive return out of it. But then here I am, like, I'm risking it all. I'm risking it all, bro. $5,000. I got $1,000 back in 2 weeks. And God, I just feel like everything's just tougher for me. Like, everyone has it hard. Everyone in business has it hard, but I feel like specifically for me, it does, like, things just don't work out as well, and it's especially tough for me. And maybe I'm just blaming other things, but I'm not. Like, I take a full accountability for everything. But I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't feel like just some things were tougher for me. Like, I know people that went door to door for 5 days and they never had to go again because they started posting organic things in Facebook groups and they got tons and tons of people interested. But then there am I have to go every single day with 7 other people, and my business was still smaller than them. Maybe it's the area, man. I don't think so. It's a pretty nice area, thank God. But everything just seems more difficult. And I guess I'm also just kind of tired of it too. Like, I really feel like I am just getting tired of it. But I have this drive in me that's telling me to keep going. To keep going. Every fucking warrior story starts like this. Every warrior story starts like this. And I've gone through it before in 2023. I cried many times because things were slowing down, but I made it. And fuck, even now, like, I haven't cried, but I've gone in bursts of, like, I want to. And in hindsight, I think to myself, like, fuck, maybe it was a stupid decision to go with that company. Stupid, way too expensive. Should have invested that into door to door. But I didn't know that. I didn't expect it. I had hope. I always had hope, and slowly that hope is turning into anger, I'll be honest with you. And maybe it's redirected anger. Like, I'll tell you, I'm a Christian, and I had my Bible open, and I was in the call for this company, and I said, let me think about it. Give me a few hours to think about it. Let me talk to Justin, my business partner. And within that call and the next call that I had with my business partner that day, I was reading my Bible, and I have it. I have my Bible. It's right here. It's right here. I had it. and I was reading Proverbs, and one thing that the guy told me in the sales call was, I'm so confident that we're going to get you leads, but it's not up to us to work those leads. You have to work it. So if you don't think you're going to work it, don't do it. But if you think that you're going to call these guys, these leads, and turn them into projects, and yeah, we'll get you the leads. And so I read a passage in Proverbs that was, the hands of the diligent are greatly rewarded, and the hands of the slacker or something, the hand of the one who slacks lives in poverty. And I thought that was, and I haven't given up yet, but I thought that was God speaking to me, saying that, which was a reflection of what the guy said. The hand of the diligent is greatly rewarded. If I will get you the leads, but it's up to you if you do them, if you work them. Diligency, being diligent, working the leads. But if you don't do anything with them, you're not going to make any money. The hand of the one who slacks lives in poverty. And that's what I used to make my decision. And part of me feels like, because I worked those leads, like the first leads that came in, I worked them. I went to the estimates. I tried my best to close them, but I couldn't. It didn't close. And maybe I could have done my sales process a little better, for sure. But I don't know. I also feel like, maybe this is wrong of me, but I also feel like if God is real, like why? You know? Why put that passage right there in random in front of me, so wellly aligned with what that guy said? And how many lessons do I need to learn over and over and over and over and over again, you know? And why is everyone's hard path, but it seems like mine specifically relative is even fucking harder all the time? And I get lost in these trains of thoughts, and then maybe like I get self-doubts too, which I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with that. I feel sick. I feel sick to my stomach with worry and with stress. And I have not been eating well. I've been indulging in things I shouldn't indulge on. Pornography, junk food. But they're all substitutes for what I'm feeling and what I want to feel, which is maybe not happiness, but maybe comfort. Not even comfort, stability. Stability. I don't care if I'm happy or not. I'll still work, but I want stability. And I want my fucking effort to be rewarded. Because I feel like I'm putting in so much effort and not getting rewarded. Now, it's either going to be an amazing story, a tough lesson, both. I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, worst comes to worst, I'm in debt. I asked my mom, listen, like, I fucked up. Can you spot me? Can you give me like a few grand? I'll pay you back. I'll go fucking get a job, or I'll just put more effort into this business organically and I'll pay you back. She'll do it. She believes in me. She's seen me work before. She knows I'll return the money for sure. I've always done that. But I really just don't want to, you know? I don't want to be put in that situation. I don't know what to do besides just keep working at it. But God, I feel like it's a lie now, sometimes. I have this vision board right in front of me. It's behind my monitor. And it says at the top, God, and then a picture of Jesus Christ. And then around it is all the things that I want to accomplish this year, or in general. So I have a Ferrari 488. I have a Rolex Presidential Datejust. Not Datejust, a day date. I have a twin turbo Audi R8. I have an RS6 or an RS7 up there. And have the words relentlessness, God, discipline, empire, pick up the phone, love, knock, integrity, and empathy. And I have a picture of a pinstripe suit. I have a picture of an empire, which was the Roman Empire. I have a picture of cash. I have a picture of Florida. All of those have a significant meaning to me. And whenever I'm feeling like this, I just look up and I think, I'm like, fuck, that's possible. All of that is possible. All of that is possible, but it's not going to happen unless I put in the fucking work. But I'm just like fed up too. I want this to be the last time I have to start from zero again. I want it to be the last time I start from zero. I'm not going to keep whining about that, talking about that. Let's take some action. Yeah, you guys see the watch. Let's take some action. I'm going to take some action. I'm going to go out knocking some doors in an hour. An hour and a half I'm leaving. And I'm going to do some cold calls. I have to optimize a few things, like automate a few things. Set up some estimates, set up some quotes. Have some conversations. Now I want to talk about some things though. Like, I'm enjoying this video. I need to get a lot of this off my mind. It's like a therapy session. I spoke with my MMA coach. I used to go to MMA. I started January 2024. I stuck with it till November. I think I stopped in November or maybe before November because it was like $150 a month, $200 a month. And I had to, I was starting my business, so it's pretty expensive. I wasn't working, so I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, this shit happens, I want to come back, but you gotta give me some time. He's like, yeah, I get it. So I stopped it. And I called him yesterday morning, and I was like, hey, can I, like, I'm just calling, you know, I'll be honest with you, started out my business again. I was just wondering if I could help you guys out with anything, like paint any your dojo, any fixes, give you guys a quote. And he's like, hey man, like, I'll be honest, I don't have anything right now, but like, if you have some flyers, bring them. I'll put them up in the dojo. And I went, and he put them up in the dojo, right on the receptionist desk, right in the front. As soon as you walk in, right there. I'm so grateful that he would do something like that. Like, honestly, it means a lot, especially where I am right now. It really means a lot. It shows me hope, and it shows me that help, and I'm really grateful for that. And we spoke a lot because he's in sales too. Like, he has his dojo, but he's by night, by day he's in sales. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, we were just talking about, you know, what was happening, and he's like, don't even worry about it. When I was your age, I probably lost like $40,000-$50,000 when I was like 28. And he told me, he was sorry, my brother came in. I just paused the video. That by the time he was 28, he had lost $40,000-$50,000 and investing, and how you know, it was a lesson. But he's like, it doesn't really matter what you do now. Like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna get past it. And I really believe that. But it's not so much that I don't want to that I feel like I'm not gonna get past it. It's like, I don't like the feeling or the idea of having to start over again. How many times am I gonna have to start over again, put 100% effort into something, and it goes fucking sideways? Or getting fucked over by people. Fucked over by people and being told one thing and then it's another thing. All the time. Every single fucking time. Like, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be ranting. I should be whining about it. But at the same time, like I feel like it does come from a place of genuine frustration. And like I'm genuinely frustrated now. Like I'm pissed off at this shit. I'm getting a fucking call. 1 second. Okay, so I got that conversation out of the way. There's a friend of mine. He has a home service business too. He was wondering if I could manage his production. Like he focuses on all the sales. I'm just playing with a zip tie. He manages he does all the sales. I manage the production, which would be like, scheduling clients, having some crews go. 50-50 cut. He pays all the marketing. I have to carry the labor, which is just based on it's per project, right? So it's not really a big deal. But there's a lot of things I gotta figure out. I don't know. He has a lot of high quality clients, so I feel like that could translate into painting projects. There's a lot of opportunity there. However, I am concerned at the workload, especially having like my company going on. My company is gonna be bigger for sure. But it's not impossible though, It's not impossible. I could definitely... I mean, if the guys are good and we train them properly, they can go do the work. I don't even have to be there. Collect the payments myself. Or I'll tell him he has to collect the payments. I will do the work. I don't know. Anyways, I'll think about that later. I have too many things to think about for myself on the table. So, yeah. He did tell me one thing. He asked me how I was, and I was like, oh, fuck, bro. Facebook's a little slowing down. In 2 weeks, I'm broke. But, we'll see what happens. He's like, hey, everything's gonna happen when they happen, when there's meant to happen. Just keep your head up high. Don't put your chin down. And it was at a moment, I don't know. It was stupid luck. Maybe it was God. What's the word? I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. Either next year, by the end of this year, tomorrow, in a few weeks. We'll see how the Facebook ads are going, and we'll keep in touch. This is my update, 42-minute long video. And man, this is gonna be one hell of a story, bro. This is what gets me going. I'm gonna throw this fucking zip tie out. This is what gets me going. It's gonna be one hell of a story. I'm either gonna have to start from zero again with some lessons, or fucking get through it and live to tell the tale. The time I fucking almost went broke, I was this close. But I like this YouTube thing. I like talking. I like getting things, this like therapy session, getting things off my head, off my chest. Now to end the video, here is the watch. It's a Omega Constellation from 1967. My grandfather's watch. Passed away in 2018. My grandmother, his wife, gave it to me recently, like a few years ago. The bracelet never fit, so I put on a black leather strap, but I got it sized recently, and the reason I didn't get sized before was they told me they couldn't, and they eventually 2 years later said they could. So I don't know, whatever. It looks sick. I wear it now. Enough talking. I got a cold call. I'm gonna do some automations and actually get some things going. Let's fucking do this, bro. Let's do this.